All right, so starting off, I want to make sure that I label my page correctly. Make sure that you guys can see this on the screen. And so, as always, I'm going to put the activity number up here. And because this is the first page of this for me, I'm going to put unit conversion. As always, make sure that you label every single page. And you guys should have already taken your notes on previous pages. We're going to begin now with step 1. So I'm just going to write a 1 and circle it. Now it tells me to write an equation that shows the equivalency between meters and gigameters. You guys should have seen something like this in your presentation yesterday, except for they were doing megameters instead of gigameters. But I'm going to scroll down until I find, there we go, my SI prefixes. And can I get a volunteer to tell me? You're going to have to probably look at your own sheet because you can't see it up there. What is the conversion, what is the conversion factor for gigameters? Gigameters with a G. I'm just doing number 1 on my PL2W. I need to know what the conversion factor is for gigameters to meters. So 10 to the 9th is my conversion. Now, the way that I write that as a equation is I would just write, I'm going to come back to here. I would write 1 gigameter, so big G, little m, equals 10 to the 9th meters. I could also, if I was so inclined, write 1 gigameter equals 1 million, meters. I'm sorry, I said 1 million. I meant 1. I was like, that didn't look right. That's 1. It's 1 billion meters. So I found the conversion under my SI prefixes. I found giga. I typed in formula sheet. So you can see here, 10 to the 9th is the same thing as 1 billion. But I personally don't like writing all these zeros every single time. And so I usually will use that 10 to the 9th as my conversion factor. All right, step 2. Back to the webcam here. Step 2 asks me to instead put that in a conversion factor instead of an equation. And so a conversion factor is always in the form of a fraction, so it's going to be something over something else. And I can do it either way. But in this case, because I want to convert from meters to gigameters, I need meters to be on the bottom. So my conversion factor is simply 1 gigameter over 10 to the 9th meters. And that is my conversion factor. Now, honestly, it doesn't entirely make sense for us to do this by itself. We're going to be, but it's going to make a lot more sense when we start doing our first conversion, which will happen. Oh no! All right, which will happen right now. So number 3 asks us to start using conversions, and there are a lot of different parts of 3, so make sure that you label them A, B, C, etc. So I'm going to come down here and do 3. And I'm just going to do A here. And just so you guys can see what I was doing. All right, so can I get a volunteer to read out for me what is step A? Yes. Yep. All right, I need 4.567 trillion meters to gigameters. So I'm going to start out with 4.567, and then trillion. See if I can put it on here. We're going to do this with the zeros just so everyone's on the same page here. So trillion is a lot of zeros. So this is my trillions, this is my billions, my millions, my thousands, and my hundreds, tens, ones. And the initial unit was meters. And then I want to convert my meters to gigameters. So because I wrote out all the zeros here, I'm going to write out all the zeros in my conversion as well. So 1 gigameter over 1 billion meters. Yeah. All right, so now I can start crossing out things that I have at the top and the bottom of the equation. So I have meters on the top, meters on the bottom, so I can cross out meters. And then I've got 9 zeros on the bottom, 9 zeros on the top, so I can cross out all these zeros. I can only do that moving from the back forward there, but and so all that leaves me then is 4, 5, 6, 7, and then and then I've got 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom there. So I've got, now I don't even have to plug this in the calculator because everything crossed out. So now I am at 4,567 gigameters. I just write that out here. And that is how we convert meters to gigameters. Was that painful and confusing? If I'm hearing a lot of yeses, then that would be what I would expect, because this is tricky. This is why we're going to have a lot of practice on this so that everyone knows how to do it. You have a computer in front of you which has a whole host of calculators. All right. Yes, ma'am. Type in formula sheet in the search bar. All right. Let's do B. I'm sorry, what was the question? All right, let's do B now. All right, so this asks me to convert milliliters to liters. So I start out with 1,4,5,2,0 ml. And then I need a conversion from milliliters to liters. I know that my milliliters is going to be on the bottom and liters on the top because I want the milliliters to cross out. But now I need to go into my formula sheet and find the conversion. So can anybody tell me what the conversion from milliliters to liters is? Yes, sir. Right here, that's 2 zeros. Yes, but you had that reversed because that M makes it smaller, and so we need to put that 0.001 next to liters, not next to milliliters. So 0.001 liters over 1 milliliter. Now, so that leaves me this equation here. So because they are both on top, I can cross out the milliliters here. If I'm dividing by 1, that's just going to be the same number. So now I just need to multiply 14,520 by 0.001. Can I what? So now multiplying by 0.001. Did anybody put that in the calculator already? Shouldn't be. How many zeros were in your calculation? That's what you should get. So you should end up with 14.52, and then liters is my unit that's not crossed out, so liters. Put a box around this answer. All right, questions on what I just did? All right, we're going to skip. Oh, yes, sir. Yes. Oh, good question. What is 14 divided by 1? Yes. What is 14.52 divided by 1? 14.52. Yeah. So anything divided by 1 is itself. So you can just ignore that 1. All right. I'm going to skip C. But So, and you guys can come back to it later. I'm just going to leave enough space for it in my notebook and move on to D, because this can be a different kind of thing. So make sure you leave a space for C, and then we're going to move down to D. All right, so D said 6.30 yards to feet. So we'll start out by putting 6.30 YD. Uh, 6.3, yeah, 6.30. And then when we're doing this kind of conversion, we need to use some of these conversion factors up here. So can anybody find me a conversion factor that converts yards to feet? Zaire, you found it? All right, 1 yard equals 3 feet. So the question then is, should I put the 1 yard on the bottom or the top of my equation here? Why bottom? Exactly. I want to cancel out yards, so I need to put 1 yard and 3 feet. All right, so based on this, what should I plug in my calculator? Go ahead. 3 times 6.30 is correct. So go ahead and plug 3 times 6.3 into your calculator. 6.30. 18.9. And then what are my units going to be? Feet. And because I kept 2 decimal points here, I'm going to keep 2 decimal points here. All right. I'm going to skip E and move on to F, because F is a different kind of tricky. And F says 9 foot 2.5 inches to inches using fractional inches. All right, so this one is actually not very hard, but it doesn't set up the exact same way. So if I want this to be in inches and I want to stay in fractions, that means I don't want any decimal inches. So this 2.5 right here, this 2.5 inches, that's already in inches. I do not need to convert that to inches. What part do I need to convert to inches? 9 feet. All right, so over here, I'm going to say 9 feet. How many inches are in a foot? No, that was yards. All right, should I put feet on the bottom or inches on the bottom? Feet. So 1 foot, 12 inches. Cross out feet. What should I put in my calculator? 9 times 12, because they are both on top there. And what did that equal? 108. Okay, thank you, Tanaya. So Tanaya, so if you stop right here, you're going to get the wrong answer. So what do I do next, Tanaya? All right, so now I need to add back in that 2.5 inches. And what is 108 plus 2.5? Yes, 110, and we're not doing decimals, we're doing fractions, so it'd be 110 and a half. Inches is my units. Always have your units. No, because it asks for fractional inches. If it asks for decimal inches, I would definitely do 0.5. Questions on how I did that one? We've done A, B, D, and F, yes. See if there's any more that I want to do. I'm going to do I'll do J because it's the hardest one. I'm going to do J next. Or do you want to, did you guys want to do G? All right. So I'm going to leave myself room. Probably going to end up on a new page here. G, H, I. Yeah, J's going to be on the next page. Since I started a new page, I'm going to make sure I put 3.2 up here. Make sure I put the step that I'm on. And then this is J, correct? All right, J. All right, and J asked me to convert 3 billion nanoliters to decaliters. Okay, 350 billion. All right, so I start out with 350 for my billion, and then millions, thousands. Make sure I can see this. Hundreds. And then nanoliters is NL. Then I need to use my formula sheet. Find nanoliters. And because I wrote out all the zeros here, I'm going to write out all the zeros here. So it was nanoliters on the bottom and 0.00000000. 0.001 liters. If I multiply those out, no, it'd be one less actually. If I multiply that out, it is, well, I'm actually not ready to multiply yet, because what did it ask me for my answer in? Decaliters. And so I need to convert from, so I've gotten to liters, but now I need to convert to decaliters, which uses this one. So I will say ten liters is 1 deciliter. All right, so then I got to multiply all of this out, and that should get me to 3,500 deciliters. I did that wrong. I multiplied instead of dividing. So I multiply the top part, and then I multiplied the 10 instead of dividing the 10. So I should have multiplied the top part. That would give me 350 liters. And then I divide the bottom one. That gives me 35 deciliters. All right. I'm going to give us some time to work on those intermediate ones on your own at your tables. Call me over if you would like help. I'm also about to post this video on Google Classroom if you want to watch the step-by-step again.